Howdy folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review on the Dice Tower, a short video we do each week where we kind of highlight all the videos we did over the past week. And that way, if you're like, hey, I want to know more about it, all you got to do is click the link in the description below and you can go watch the full review. But short summaries are coming now.
Hey, everybody, Zee Garcia here. We're at the retreat, but I'm actually not going to be talking about that. We're doing a Week in Review. But if you're not here, you should be. Anyway. This week I reviewed 3 games. I reviewed Tauntaun. This is a trick-taking game. I rate this a 6 out of 10. The packaging really hurts this one. It's a tiny, portable game, and the game's pretty good, but the idea of being able to carry it around does not really pan out and does not substitute for what could have been a well-packaged, well-produced game. So I had a little bit of an issue with that. I don't really want to clip it onto my bag and carry it around. I also reviewed Café. This is a roll and write game. Rate this a 7 out of 10. And I really liked it. It's got awful dice, some of the worst dice I've ever seen. So if you get the game, replace those immediately. But the game's neat. It's got a little theme. It's a good-looking game other than the dice, and I enjoyed the game quite a bit. Lastly, I reviewed the expansion to Monolith Arena Academics, and this I rate an 8.5 out of 10. Really liked it. It gives you a new faction, so now you've got 5 of them, and you can mix and match whichever ones you want to play. Their cool thing is that their units are not so good, but you can power them up throughout the game, and then they really super boost up. You can do some considerable damage with them. So if you like the base game, you definitely want to get this expansion. That's it for me. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna get back to gaming.
Hey, folks. Welcome back to another Week in Review. I am here at the Dice Tower Retreat, kind of where you thought you wish you would have been. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to be here. Maybe you want to just watch us on a video. I don't know. But anyway, I did 2 videos for you this week. First one was a review for a game called Kibble, Scuffle from WizKids. And this is kind of where you're trying to feed your cats. And you have your own little cats that you want to try to feed. And it's a take-that game, kind of. But it has a real small smash-up vibe to it as well. So I didn't not enjoy it. Check out the review for more information on that end. And then I also started another video series. It's called Asterisk Some Assembly Required. And this is a game where this is a series that I'm starting where I'm going to open up a game that needs models, you need to put the models together. There you go. Spit all that out. And I try to show you how to do that in my way, which may or may not be the best way. Anyway, this one is for Aeronautica Imperialis. This is not a new game. This is a reprint. It's a Wings of Vengeance box set that's coming out from Games Workshop, where it is Space Marines in the air and orcs in the air, flying around in jets and bombers and trying to kill each other as per normal. But anyway, check that out and see what you think. That's it from me. Let's get back to the rest of your review.
It was a rare week where I liked pretty much every game that I played. So let's get started. Disney Color Match. This is a game for kids, and that's what I ranked it as, where you will say, what color was Cinderella's dress at the ball? And everyone puts a color in, and you're trying to guess correctly. It tests trivia of Disney mixed with colors. Disney fanatics will like it. Tricks and the Phantom is a very weird little game. Has nothing to do with trick-taking, despite the name. Instead, you are trying to put out a criminal, I guess, or a suspect, to make them the criminal, and guess who the criminal is. It's a very small little, I guess you would call this a micro game that I enjoyed. Pirates Adventures in the Caribbean. This is a game that really is exciting and neat, but also very, very low complexity, a family-friendly game. It's a deck-building game where you're racing ships on 3 different tracks. You can slow down and pick up stuff, but then you might not be the farthest on the track, so you have to kind of balance that out as the game goes by while getting good cards in your deck. Spring Rally is a funky trick-taking game in which you play cards to win a trick, and depending on who wins, you race a car around a track. But every time you mess up, you wind your spring a little more, and you can release that spring to go a much farther distance. Very cool. Colors of Paris. This is a really pretty game about painting paints and your worker placement. You're putting these workers down to take different actions to get these paint cubes. And it's very similar to many other games, but where you place the workers rotates, and you can leave one on the board in between rounds. Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. I really enjoyed this game. My worst criticism was it's a little too streamlined, a little too, almost they streamlined a little bit of the theme out of it, but some solid mechanisms, a really cool sideboard where you get to place different workers, and the lower the number, the faster you go, but the less powerful their actions are. Then you have another action where you have a pretty mean area control game going on. Mystery House is an escape room style game where you are looking into windows in a house trying to figure out how to get into this thing and solve it. It's very unique and very different than the other escape room games that are out there. Letter Jam, this CGE game, I really enjoy it. There's some problems with it. The scoring is weird, and there's a weird clue system. But you take that out, and the basic concept of the game, a cooperative, everyone's trying to solve the letters they have in front of them, works really well. I also look at a couple expansions, or several expansions. Vindication, the new expansion for that one, which adds alliances and leaders, and I really like what it adds to the game. It's kind of like just another module, but it's probably my favorite of the different modules that they have. King of Tokyo Cybertooth. This is a new monster that you can use in King of Tokyo, but also adds an extra die to throw your monsters into a rage. I think that's really cool, and I would probably use that in every game. Western Legends Ante-Up. This adds a ton of extra stuff to Western Legends, where you can rob trains and you can play different kinds of poker and you get poker points. It adds more people. It adds a whole extra map and a place to settle things. If you thought the original game didn't have enough stuff, this expansion will dissuade you of that. There's plenty in it. And then Escape Room in a Box Flashback. This is a sequel to Escape Room in a Box Werewolf, the Werewolf Experiment. This one is just as good as the first one. It's very physical. It's one of my favorite Escape Room in a Box games. It is maybe a little easy, but I don't mind. There's a lot of physicality, a lot of cool things involved with it. Highly recommend it. And also allows several people to work on stuff at the same time. That's it. I don't know what else happened this past week because I'm recording this a week early, and so we may have had a hurricane hit us, but all the reviews were done way ahead of time, so who knows. But until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.